morning, kids. Goodness, how is everybody doing? I am running a little late this morning. Oh boy. And tragedy. Tragedy almost befell me. I almost spilled my coffee. that would have been just horrible. Goodness me. You definitely don't want that to happen. But crisis was averted. I was able to salvage the cup before it toppled over. No coffee was spilled, maybe just a drop, so we're all good. Although we are running a little late this morning. How is everybody doing? Hello. Hello to everybody on all the various platforms that I'm on. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Hello to everybody on Periscope. Hello to everybody on DLive, and of course, hello to everybody on Bitwave. What is up? How is everybody doing? I hope you had a great evening yesterday, a great day. There's always stuff to talk about, and we're gonna talk about it. I got my coffee, as I mentioned, even though it almost went to naught, but I got it. And I hope you have yours too. I am running a little late this morning. In fact, that's why you're still probably hearing some clicking sounds and other sounds. I'm trying to get a couple things plugged in and set up here. I got to charge my phone. The disease of the modern era, charging everything. Oh boy, it's like you gotta have a million cables, a million USB ports, and the battery capacity is never enough. But anyways, there are some interesting trends happening on Twitter and the news. Of course, the biggest news item is the fact that the DNC convention is underway. Day one is gone, and goodness, I didn't sit to watch through the entire thing because I value my sanity. But I've seen highlights, and wow. wow. Suffice to say, the more stuff. Yeah, I did wake up late. That was one of the problems. DSP official, welcome to the stream. That is definitely one of the issues. But you know, I've seen. Excuse me, 1 second. Okay, never mind. I thought I had a little thing here around me, but I don't. So outside? No, I'm not outside. Does it sound like I'm outside? Drinking my coffee here a little bit. Goodness. Oh, global chat. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm only looking at my chat. So, I wasn't aware. But anyways, oh yeah, I gotta refresh this so I can see my exact count of coins. Okay. So, the DNC convention. You had Michelle Obama on the first day. Is that so, Destructor? Oh, you know, at least you're keeping busy. Hi, Zani. Welcome to the stream. So really, what's going on here is, you know, you had your first day of the DNC convention. You had, the Democratic National Convention kept on in their tradition of using people's personal tragedies as a soapbox, with a daughter of a COVID-19 victim who denounced Donald Trump in a speech at the Democratic National Convention. This is something that they do all the time. There's always this appeal to emotion. They're using people who have suffered a tragedy. They did this back with George W. Bush. You know what? They had this mother who obviously became unstable due to the loss of her son during the Iraq War, and she became a crusader against George W. Bush, calling him a war criminal and all these kind of things. And and they did this during the campaigning of 2016 with that what was his name, Sadiq something, um the father of they had a fallen soldier as a son. They like to do that. And the thing is, this isn't unique. It isn't unique to the Democrats. You will have that happening on the right as well by Republicans. But it seems like that on the left, I've noticed that there is a much like greater use of this greater appeal to emotion. And I understand why, because if people suffer tragedy, they want to blame someone. And I don't know anything about this woman. Let's see if there's any information about her. And she claims that her father was healthy. Doesn't seem that. I mean, if there's a underlying condition or some complication that he had that passed away, I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate. I would like to know what state she's from. Let me take a look and see if the article brings up any information about that, because that matters now. It matters to know what state you were in and uh how that state managed the issue. And in most cases, yeah, because she's saying that Donald Trump said that if you had no underlying health conditions, you'd probably be fine, which is true. In most cases, if you don't have an underlying condition, if you get the virus, you should be okay. Should be. You probably will be. But that doesn't mean that it's foolproof. You never know. And then people who seemingly um Arizona. Arizona is where she is from. I haven't heard too much about how Arizona has handled stuff. In terms of the numbers, the COVID numbers, I mean, I think Arizona has seen a bump, but for the most part, they didn't do a lot of silly things like some other states did, from my understanding. So I don't know why her father died, and if this woman, I condolences to her. Obviously, I don't wish loss on anyone, and I don't wish bad things to anybody. But I think that when you suffer a personal tragedy like that, um, one, I wouldn't let politicians use me for the fact that I went through a personal tragedy, because that's what they're doing. They're using her for their own benefit. And if she has her own personal vendetta against people because she doesn't know who to blame or what to blame or whatever, that's up to her. But I would suggest to this woman to seek some spiritual counseling about her loss. Well, everybody dies, illustrator. I mean, it's not really about that. It's about what exactly happened in that situation. Why you are using your father's death as a political prop, and how you deal with it. I mean, I've had tragedies in my life, and I've never once thought about using that as a soapbox for political posturing. But this is something, like I said, this is something that's done on both sides. This isn't unique to the Democrats. No, I wouldn't, because my what happens in my life is my life. I'm not gonna go around making light of the life that has been lost of people that I care about. I wouldn't, even if people pay me. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing something like that. I mean, if this was something that the only reason why to me it's worth speaking politically about the death of someone. No, I'm pretty sure even if people would offer me money, the only circumstance where something like this makes sense to me, and this is just me saying this because I have a hard time relating to this sort of thing. Well, sure, someone's more vulnerable already. They're in a situation, especially now where there's a lot of people that, that don't have jobs, don't have income. Yeah, I get it. They're in a position where it's easier to scoop them up and be used for for political needs. To have some empathy, bigot. I'm trying to have empathy. I try to. I understand. That's why I'm saying I understand loss. I understand tragedy. So, but what I'm saying is like the only reason that to me it makes sense to use a personal tragedy and a death in your family for political posturing has to do if political actions had a direct result in the death of this individual. Well, I don't know. Can I sing? I can hold a tune. I have been known to do in the early days of Bitwave and my streaming and playing around with streaming. I did do some karaoke. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know anything about her mom. They don't mention anything about her mom in the article. No, I'm not gonna sing right now. So as I was saying, to me, it makes more sense to speak politically about a death if the death is indeed caused by politics. But if someone is saying just what is factually accurate about this virus, for example, that all the CDC said so, the WHO said so. So if you believe those organizations and you trust in the doctors and the scientists, and everybody's saying, well, if you don't have any underlying conditions, for the most part, you shouldn't have any issue, then that's that. Her father, from pictures, obviously seems like someone who had a little bit of weight on him. I don't know what other conditions he may or may not have had. So I don't know. She says he's healthy. I would like to see the medical files. Was he indeed that healthy as she claims? And I'm not calling the girl a liar. It's just that sometimes people just don't know. Like, even for myself, I believe I'm healthy. I believe everything is okay with me. I believe I don't have any underlying condition. But if I get hit by a virus and then all of a sudden an underlying condition rears its ugly head, guess what? I do have one and I wasn't aware of it. And maybe doctors didn't see it, they didn't notice. Who knows? There's so many variables when it comes to that sort of thing. Islam is right about women. Do you think Islam is right about women? I Islam does a lot of subjugating of women. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's a good way of dealing with women. No, she's an opportunist. Maybe. Am I annoyingly paused? What does paused mean exactly? Before I answer, I want to know exactly what you mean by that question. So, how do you deal with women then? Well, I I don't believe women are second class citizens. I don't believe that women have less rights than a man. Oh, to my knowledge, hey, who knows? Maybe I am paused then. I have no injected with AIDS. That's with HIV. But no, I'm not. I'm pretty sure I'm not. Fast secretions? What are you talking about? That might be related to something in global chat. No, I don't have. To my knowledge, I have a clean bill of health. Last I checked. Last I got tested, checked, all this kind of stuff. I'm supposedly squeaky clean. So, uh, so now Bitwave is privy to my medical history to an extent. But anyways, I just yeah, I just doxed my my medical history a little bit. But anyways, the point is I'm I'm not aware of having any underlying condition. So, moving on, like I said, I feel bad for this person who lost her father. Excuse me. Goodness. Oh my gosh. I will be right back. Okay. Well, it looks like my face decided to explode here on stream. Wonderful. Uh, I know, right? I just spoke about being squeaky clean and I'm like dying of sneezing apparently. No, I do have allergies. I have mentioned this on stream before. And apparently they decided to act up. I'm not koofing though. That's the saving grace right there. And this coffee break is brought to you by Wuhan, China. Yep. Speaking of Wuhan, China, did you see that video of like this massive concert with a DJ and singers and massive crowds of like I don't know, hundreds and hundreds or maybe even 1,000 people from Wuhan? Did you see that? You trusted Trump and now you're sneezing. But I sneezed before him though. Well, but and this is the thing, this one person I've seen like various comments here to this woman's speech, and you have some people tweeting, for example, this is how stupid these people are that vote. The very people she is with are the ones that are guilty of this COVID-19. The future that none of these moron live. Well, sorry, this is weird. So the future that none of these moron live in will prove that true. Democrats are users. It's a bit harsh, but I mean, it's kind of true. I mean, she had an elderly father. She says you blame your 65-year-old father's death from the flu on the president. You might have TDS. Um, I mean that's the thing here. It's like I feel that this person already didn't like Trump, and she's using her father's death to me it's in an inappropriate way, and I don't agree with that. So your cough Feifei. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I extend my condolences to anybody who's suffered a loss, but I think you need to look at what happened in that situation. She had an older father, 65. They are already by age, they are more vulnerable to the virus. He was overweight. I'm sure that played a role as well. So I think that it's kind of misguided to just go and say, well, he had no conditions whatsoever without like even talking about what his medical history was anyway. So I feel sorry for her. I extend my condolences. I wish that people would take this as a learning opportunity to not not just take tragedy and try and point fingers, because it's very easy to do that. Actually, this is also something that happens a lot of times with people and faith. Well, I have no idea what their relationship was. Um, but you also have this in faith where people experience a tragedy, and it's very easy to just say, "Well, it's God's fault," and that they create this separation from them and God, and them and religion, or then them and whatever church or denomination they go to. And it's very easy to do that because it's something separate from you in a way, and it's very easy to just go ahead and and blame someone or something that didn't have a direct hand per se in anything. But we as human beings want to find cause to something. We need to know the why and how about things. And it brings closure to tragedy when we do. The entire last 3 months have been about taking a tragedy and using it for selfish ambition. If you think George Floyd was a tragedy, yeah, um, that's been the modus operandi, is using a tragedy for political expediency. They've been doing that with George Floyd. They've been doing that with the other Black Lives Matter um, victims. They it's a troubling trend, especially if it's used to justify like violence, rioting, looting, arson, things like that. Like there was a video of this trucker that got kicked in the head. Media didn't even care. Hardly even reported on it. I don't think this outlets reported on it. And then the other thing that happened at the DNC. Oh yeah, there's been cops injured, people killed, statues, property damaged, statues destroyed or vandalized. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And excuse me one moment. Okay. Uh, man, that sneeze attack was like really ill timed. Hmm. Just screwed everything up. The eternal achoo. Yeah, pretty much. I think I'm gonna need some Flonase. Oh yeah, that too. That's right, Mom Patch. Hi, Mom Patch. By the way, welcome to the stream. How about the 5-year-old shot in the head in front of his little sister, Cannon? Yeah. News didn't even care about that. They didn't give that kid all these, a month worth of funerals, murals. I guess because it's not politically expedient. There's no point in doing that for the kid. Uh, yeah, the media didn't really care about Kate Steinle either. And other victims of that nature. So it's definitely there's definitely a bias in reporting these sort of things. There's definitely political expediency that is involved, um, and it's a shame. So, the other highlights and the other things from the national convention, the Democratic National Convention, was uh, you had this music video at the end that was probably the cringiest of cringe. And everybody's just laughing and pointing their finger and mocking at the DNC for it. It was really, really dumb. It was really dumb, really pathetic. It's worth a laugh. I'm not gonna play it because YouTube will copyright me, and they will slam me, and they may even remove the video or try and block me or do something like that. So I'm not gonna play it, but go and look at the highlights on Twitter. It's comical, totally worth the watch. And a lot of people are saying that well, you just pretty much helped. Um, excuse me, you just helped Trump get reelected with that. So it was pretty cringe, pretty cringe. The other thing that was funny was Michelle Obama. She said Joe Biden is a profoundly decent man guided by faith. And then in 2013, she said Harvey Weinstein is a wonderful human being, a good friend. These people. She praised Harvey Weinstein. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how like what short term memory these people have about the things that they said themselves. It just is. It's just. It's ridiculous. It's the hypocrisy is insane. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, I like tonight. There's gonna be the second night. There's 4 nights. Like I said, I'm not gonna be watching the entire thing. I'm just gonna check out the highlights. Because like I said, I value my sanity. So I would suggest to people to do the same. I can't sit through it. I can't. I value my sanity. It's too cringeworthy for me. Um, I sat through all of the Democratic primary debates. I I sat through that, and I've seen the clips already from the DNC. I've seen the terrible music video. I've seen the like articles about certain speeches. It's just I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't think I can stomach that for like the entire evening. I would much rather do other stuff than that. And being that I do political commentary, I probably should sit through it. I probably should watch it, but it's like, oh, I really don't want to. I really don't. And now you have Big Mike trend. God, you have Big Mike trending on Twitter. Sorry, I got silent for a minute because I saw this trend come up. Um, because people are calling Michelle Obama Michael. Oh boy. No, I'm still here. Sorry, I was just looking at a couple stuff. Hey, Troll CC66. I don't necessarily view the left as the quote enemy. And there's enough on Twitter, the news, the highlights, video clips everywhere. The media is very left leaning, so they're gonna highlight all this stuff ad nauseum. So I don't really need to sit through all this stuff per se. Uh, so I don't need to sit through the entire thing. They make it very clear what they say, what they do. And plus, I don't really need to even sit through most of it because someone signed me up for the DNC emails, and it's pretty hilarious actually. When you look at that, I didn't plan on signing up for DNC emails. Someone signed me up. Apparently, I don't know if they were trying to do that as a joke or to troll me or something like that, but they actually did me a favor. I mentioned this yesterday. They did me a favor because now I'm privy to all the DNC emails, and it's pretty amazing how many donation emails I get in a day. I mean, every day I get at least two. I mean, they're desperate for money, apparently. The DNC is seemingly really, really, really desperate for money. Well, it is show prep, and I should sit through it. But the thing is, I have a life. I have other stuff that I do, and and this is a side gig. If this became my full-time gig, like if I had a larger audience and I had more financial support from doing this, yeah, I would sit through a lot more, and I would do a lot more in-depth analysis. I could spend my entire day doing show prep for the next day. Absolutely. No, you don't have to be desperate for money to want more of it. Absolutely, you're correct, Illustrator. But I'm saying I've never set this up or done this to, like, the goal was never to make this my full-time job. With this whole COVID thing, things have changed a little bit. And I still don't necessarily look at this as wanting to make this my full-time job, even though I do enjoy the stream. I do enjoy speaking on politics. I do enjoy soapboxing. And if this somehow grows and it turns into something where I do need to engage and work on this 24/7 and have higher production values, then yeah, I mean, I would sit through far more than what I do right now. Right now, I pay attention to the news, I read articles, I look at highlight clips. Some things I sit through, like the Democratic debates and things of that nature. Um. Oh well, no, they pretty much keep. I don't know because the language that they use in those emails are like, we need your support, we need your help, we can't do it without. I mean, they do sound a little desperate in their emails. You know, so they do sound a little desperate in the emails. I don't know if they are, but at least the language that they're using in the emails makes you think that, you know, it seems like their coffers aren't as prolific as you would think. And then they send out, it's a quantity thing too. They send out a lot of emails asking for money. So it's a little strange that way. But let's move on to other topics. Let's talk about some other stuff that's happening in the news right now. You have a posthumous pardon from President Trump. You have a posthumous pardon for Susan B. Anthony. Today is also the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. So, President Trump will pardon Susan B. Anthony, who was found guilty by an all-male jury of illegal voting in 1872 in the 1872 presidential election. He's going to pardon her, and I think that's great. You know, I have no qualms with that. I think that's a good thing that he's doing that. It's a nice and honorable gesture, which initiated the women's suffrage movement essentially. And I think that's for the woman who initiated the suffrage movement. So yeah, it's great. Good for him. You have a crowd of people there. There's a video of him signing that proclamation. Um, a full and complete pardon. Yeah. Well, I say good for him. Roger Stone is also trending. Why send a plea for cash if you're not going to sell it as an urgency? Well, I mean, it's a nice gesture. I mean, I think that it doesn't harm him to do that. It may be an empty gesture, but I think it's a good show of of placing value of what people did to bring us to where we are today. And whether you like agree with the person's actions or not, I mean, he's done a lot of not a lot. He's done several posthumous pardons to people, and I think they're good gestures to do if these people deserve that posthumous pardon. And I think in her case, um, especially back then, I don't even think that she would have gotten a fair trial anyways as well. I don't know the details of her case, to be honest, and at this point I don't think it really matters all that much. But yeah, I don't think there's a downside to it. Yeah, I agree with that, illustrator. I think it's fine, even if it's considered somewhat of an empty gesture. It's a good gesture to make, especially on the anniversary of the 19th Amendment. I think that it's a nice thing. And many other presidents could have done that. They didn't. He did. So kudos to Trump on that one, and it kind of takes a peg off of those people that claim that he's a woman hater and blah blah blah. Because if he really hated women, why would he do that? You know. Speaking of women, though, uh, there's been, I don't know if people have been following along. This is kind of outside the realm of politics, but more into entertainment. I don't know if people have been following along. There's been a lot of hubbubaloo over Ellen DeGeneres and her show because there's this big issue about how people were treated um in the production of her show, and people were blaming her. There was blame on the misconduct allegations for like producers and things like that. So you have three producers, top three producers now that have been let go. Essentially, the three producers are Ed Glavin, Kevin Lemon, or Lehman, and Jonathan Norman. I don't know who these people are. I don't know what other shows they've worked on, but it seems like they parted ways with the show. Um, Ellen DeGeneres announced the show's changes. I mean, she's been taking a lot of heat because a lot of people are saying that even if it was the producers who were bad people, let's say, being that the show had her name, the fact that the buck stops at her, a lot of people are saying that she should have known what was going on. She should have been aware. She should have been involved. And there have been calls to cancel her show. Now, I don't really think it's worth fighting to cancel a person's show. Like what they did with Roseanne Barr, and for example, to me was a travesty. I don't think it was justified. I don't think it's necessarily justified in her case as well because I don't think she directly instructed these producers to act in a certain way. The producers took it upon themselves to act in a certain way, and if it was inappropriate, it was inappropriate, and the producers need to face the consequences of their actions. Well, whatever she is, when am I gonna? Why would I need to say that? Hey, me. Yeah, well, that's a different issue. I don't agree with certain things that Ellen has done and said, and that's a separate issue. But when it comes to, I'm just speaking about the management of that show and what the accusations are on the show. Dispatch gassed your account. Are you Senator Hitler? Or are you Jewy? Yeah, I mean, I don't like her show. There are certain things that. Oh, your power word. Okay. Um, there are certain things about what she's said in the past, and things about her show, and there are other allegations like that that I don't necessarily agree with. And if the show needs to be canceled, I think it's worth canceling on the merit of those issues. I don't know. Yeah, Zani, I don't exactly know what exactly is happening with her because it really got like out of control in the social media news circles. Shows get canceled because they fuck kids or support Trump. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what's really going on there. I think that this is a gesture. The removal of these producers is a gesture to show, oh, we're taking care of the problem. Okay. Um, I've read articles about what was alleged, and what I've seen in those articles. I don't think it really justifies the big hoopla that's being made over her show. I don't know why these people are so upset with her. There may be something else underlying. I don't know. There isn't enough information out there. But the thing is, her show is probably going to stay on while people like Roseanne got canceled for no reason. That's really what it boils down to. Um, Excuse me, taking a sip of my coffee here. So Roger Stone is also in the news today because people are speculating that there's going to be a pardon for him. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with that. Um, so I'm not going to make too much comment on that because there's not enough information, and I don't like to make comments on stuff that I don't really know what the information is. So uh, let's just forget about that then for now, because I don't want to put a foot forward if the information available to me is not it's not enough. But other things that are happening here right now in the news that I like to comment on is protests still continue in Portland. Uh, the claim is that they're peaceful, but there's still violence every day. And that, as I mentioned, they beat a man unconscious, and there's very little coverage about it in major news outlets. You have students back at school now, and you have it seems like there's still some. You have new cases coming up in schools. Some schools have closed down again, so there's mixed results right now with that. You have some. I'm trying to see what else is in the news here to talk about. Twitter accidentally quote suspends the Babylon Bee. I had not heard about this. Is that so? Twitter briefly suspends the account of popular satire website Babylon Bee on Monday, in what the company now claims was an error. On Monday afternoon, editor-in-chief Kyle Mann posted a screenshot from Twitter to his personal account, which states that their account was suspended for violating our rules against platform manipulation and spam. And Twitter then apologized, saying that they flagged the account as spam, quote, by mistake. And Babylon Bee replies with, we are back. Twitter destroyed our headquarters with a drone strike, but we were being assured it was an honest mistake. So there you go. There's been a lot of these, like, quote, mistakes. Um, from Twitter that happens far too often, in my opinion. Hey, Rush Limbaugh, how much time do I spend on show prep? It really depends on the news item. Certain news items require more in-depth analysis, so sometimes I do read more articles, watch more videos about certain topics. Other things, the like one article or one trend with several bits of information is enough for me to kind of get an idea of what's going on. So it really depends. I don't have a set like method for every single news item or every single political thing that happens. Yeah, kids are already back to school, Meave. I know. Summer is like has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter. It's ridiculous. With all the riot channels like Keck and Doom, a pepper spray, and with a baton and riot gear might be very appropriate. Yeah, could be. Back to school days this week here. Community service hours no longer required to graduate. Been canceled for the next 5 years. In California, they forced you to do community service to graduate? The hell is that? What are you, like a state prisoner? What do I think about the riots? I think that it's just political. I mean, it's very convenient that all this stuff happens right during an election year. I don't, I don't, I think Black Lives Matter. They have themselves declared themselves a Marxist organization. That they are trained as Marxists. Why is my channel chat locked up? What? What's going on? Hold up. Huh. I can try and refresh it, I guess. I don't know what's going on with that. That's weird. I blame Dispatch. Hey, JSS Storm, YT on D Live. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for watching on D Live. Much appreciated. Let's see if I can refresh the channel here. Where are you guys here? I need to organize my my sources and everything here a little bit. I have too much stuff. Let's see. What's going on here? That's that. That's that. Nope. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand by. There we go. I got you. I found you. Hold up. Let me do this. Hold on. Let me go into studio mode here real quick. Oh. See, it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to leave me my preview and other stuff like that and not just mess up like that. That's so goofy. Okay. We're back. I'm trying to what? Of course I gotta blame Dispatch. I'm just trying to get rid of Bitwave Chat because we want him to say the gamer word. Fake news. It was all an accident, like Twitter. Yeah. No, listen, OBS is weird. I use OBS for streaming. Sometimes it acts goofy that way. I don't know what to tell you. But what was I even talking about? I lost track of what I was talking about. Oh, the riots. It's political. I think it's highly political because there are a lot more legitimate like police brutality acts that happen between like 2016 and now, and somehow now is the only time that everybody's losing their minds. And it happened in 2016 as well. And it seems like it happens always during an election year. So there's definitely a political factor to it. And then BLM, again, they're self-proclaimed Marxists. And they promote violence. They go out on the streets saying, burn it all down, pigs in a blanket, you know, fry them like bacon. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them? Now. So, hey, intruder, thanks. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Why isn't that showing up? Hey, MZ, thanks for the coins. Yes, it's always Dispatch's fault. Yes, very much so. Well, it is it's political. It's definitely political. Troll GPOH. Hey, welcome. Yeah, it's definitely political. Definitely political, and it's to me it's a shame And it's sad that this community has been used over and over and over again just for political expediency. And violence has been done in their name. It's a bad situation overall, I think. And it's not helping their cause. And then someone said it, I think it was Dana Perino. It was Dana Perino on who said this best, because they asked her about certain things on one news show, and they were like, well, is this about the election? Is this about the election? And she said, in an election year, everything is about the election. And she's right. Everything everything that happens during an election year, for the most part, relates in one form or another to the election. What? What are you talking about, Jiggle? Jewy. You're Jewy, right? What are you talking about? Any perceived death threats or insults from MZ may make are no way to be taken seriously. By Yam. Thank you later. Okay. Well, I mean, that sort of tribalism and identity politics has been around for a while. Absolutely, troll GPOH. It's not anything new. Identity politics has been used a lot, and it has been used for a long time. This isn't something that just came out of the blue. Absolutely. It's all about saying to certain groups, you're the victim. You're constantly the victim. You're being held down by the man or by some other ether entity that you can't really put your finger on. Vilifying everybody, making it so vague that you can point at anybody and say, see that guy right there, that's the enemy. Oh, stop that, troll. No, we don't need to kill people. I do not advocate for that sort of thing. What people need to do, though, is cut out that sort of tribalism. Cut out that victim mentality, because that does not benefit anybody. It doesn't benefit them, it doesn't benefit their children, it doesn't benefit their community, it doesn't benefit everybody around them. First debate is being planned for Discord? For the presidential debate? They're gonna do it on Discord? Nah. Well, it's difficult, but I mean you have people already working on trying to get people away from that line of thinking, and I think there's going to be a percentage of people that will walk away from that. That's why you have the walk away campaign, and you have Candace Owens doing the Blexit thing, black people exiting from the Democrat, quote unquote plantation, as she calls it. I mean, you have had a lot of people that have walked away from the Democrat Party. You had I think it was a mayor that went from a Democrat to a Republican. He registered as a Republican and left the Democrat Party. So I think being tribal in politics is I feel it's a backwards way of thinking. I think it's a very. I mentioned this yesterday about what people should be doing when they're thinking about voting for someone, and to me it's primitive. To me, it's a primitive way of thinking. Frankly, that if I only look at a candidate and I only care about his or her skin color, or I only care about their religion or something like that. It's not just a couple of people. It seems like there's a pretty big movement. You had the what's his name? I can't remember the guy who initiated the walk away movement, but you have a lot of people online. There's constant posting online of people that are walking away from the Democrats and walking away, and you have a shift. And honestly, all you need is a percentile. You don't need everybody to walk away. You don't. And you have there were polls saying that Trump had 40% approval rating within the black community, for example. Uh, which is huge. So honestly, what it boils down to is you don't need to convert everybody to your cause. You just need to convert the right number to your cause for you to get the votes and get the election in the bag. That's not gonna happen anytime soon, sir. Kamala and the Obamas are always gonna be race baiting. Well, I don't know. Well, hey, Trump got more votes from black communities and women than Romney did. So that's already an indication that he has more support than other Republicans did back then when Romney was running. So if you look at the numbers now, from last I saw, it seems like he can still get a number that he needs for to win the election. That's really what it boils down to. Again, he doesn't need 100%. He doesn't need 90%. Eh, listen, it's not. This isn't an overnight thing. You're not gonna get 6% to 60% overnight. Especially if this community for 30, 40, 50 years has been under Democrat rule and it's been hammered into their head consistently that you're the victim, you're the victim, you're the victim, you're the victim. Everybody hates you, everybody hates you, everybody hates you. He doesn't need to be, I think he doesn't need to pander to anybody, frankly. I think what he needs to do is do what he did before, is reach out to everybody and talk about what he can do for everybody, which is what he did in the last election. He's been doing. So I don't think that his strategy is bad. I think that he has to be an overall candidate in the sense that he has to cover all his grounds. I don't think the other guys, Biden does nothing but pandering. Which the problem with the Biden campaign and what Hillary Clinton did back then as well is that they they pander so much that they end up kicking themselves in the face, like with the comment of, well, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, for example. I mean, when you speak condescendingly to a group of people, you change your language when you speak to a person, or you change your accent, like AOC changed her accent when she spoke to a group of of black people, and Hillary Clinton did the same thing. Well, that's what I'm talking about. They've been hammered all their lives. They've been hammered all their lives that they are the victim and that they can't get ahead because there's this invisible force keeping them down. That there's this systemic thing in the ether that's causing them to not get the opportunities that they want or seek. So it's a mental problem of how they perceive themselves in their community. So to me, this whole victim mentality is a big problem, and until they remove that, until they kind of remove that and grow beyond that, they're gonna keep voting against their best interest, and that's a shame. But anyways, um, we're getting close here. I started late, I know, but we are getting close to around lunchtime here. Oh. Ooh, I saw a weird blip in my connection here for a second. That was unusual. But as I was saying, we are kind of getting close to the end of the stream here. It's about lunchtime. I need to take care of a couple things. I didn't shamelessly promote myself, so let's do that right now. Hey, if you guys enjoy the stream and like hearing me proliferate and pontificate, actually, is the word I was looking for. If you like hearing me pontificate and soapbox about political items and news and things of that nature, please consider supporting me. Streamlabs.com/The Eternal Abyss. Any level of generosity is greatly appreciated. But more so than generosity, follow, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Honestly, the greater audience I have and the more follows I have, that is a greater gift than monetary donations at this point. Though I will not sneeze at a monetary donation. So definitely, if you are able to do so, I appreciate that. But please follow on all my platforms, on Twitter, Gab, Parlor Minds, and also on all the video platforms: BitChute, YouTube, DLive, Periscope, Bitwave. All these platforms, I need your support. I need your help to grow. Please follow, subscribe, and I need your support. I need your help to grow. Please follow, subscribe, and just support conservatives like myself who are being completely shut down by platforms like YouTube. I got a video removed from YouTube for no reason. I tried to appeal, not even a response. I've had 200 or so followers, 200 to 300 followers removed from my account on Twitter. No reason given. So, your support is what is absolutely necessary for me to continue doing what I'm doing. So if you can do that and help me and follow and share and do other stuff, then fantastic. You know, I appreciate it. So just go and click on that subscribe and go click on that follow. And with that, I think I will bring the stream to a conclusion. I want to thank everybody here for watching on all the different platforms that I'm on. I want to thank everybody on DLive. I want to thank everybody on YouTube. I want to thank everybody on Periscope. And of course, I want to thank everybody on Bitwave. And of course, I'm going to conclude as I usually do. Kids, remember, don't be complacent. Go out there, register people to vote, share conservative values and tweets and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's okay, Mom Patch. You can watch the replay. That too, if you missed the stream, if you came in late or, you know, things happen or whatever, on Bitwave, the videos are archived, as well as BitChute. I'm going to be uploading more videos. I'm going to try to upload more videos. You can rewatch all this stuff. YouTube is supposed to archive it too, but, you know, with YouTube, hey. Little League? I think I saw that training, but trending, but I didn't know what it was about. Let me take a look here. I can make a quick comment on that. What's going on with that? Is there something specific about that? Hey, G Gallon. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I was about to conclude everything here. No, what's going on with Little League? Okay, well, I mean, I did see a trend. I saw a trend, but I didn't know really what it was about, so I didn't know if there was an actual news important thing to talk about it. That's all. But yeah, I'm gonna conclude the stream here. Again, remember, kids, don't be complacent. Follow me, support me, and I will see you tomorrow around 10 a.m. Hopefully, I won't be late, as I was this morning. I make no promises, but hopefully I'll be there on time. I'm sorry, G Gallon. Yeah, it's all right. This is about the time that I usually conclude the stream. So catch the replay, G Gallon, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And have a great day, kids. Take it easy.